is ready, so let's jump into game number 1, Victor. It's groups A versus B on Purgatory, and let's see what everyone does decide to drop in. And if we see some shenanigans, which are already right off the bat, I do think we're going to be seeing a couple, not even a couple, there's a lot of teams invading the island. I don't know if we can keep up with this, Victor.
Oh, it's going to be chaotic in this first round. I mean, like, again, you know, is go big or go home? I think for a lot of these teams, you can see them already exchanging fire right now.
We can't even see.
Yeah, so first blood already taken here. We're here with Expand because they're landing on ground here together with what I believe is Flash, Team Flash right now on Central. So
they've lost Cobra as well, who is a pretty big player on the team. He's the one that tends to do a lot of the damage. So to lose Cobra now, if you're Expand, you either have to fully commit and win this engagement, or you're going to have to send someone out to retreat and try and get the team revives off. We have seen a lot of this happen yesterday, but Expand are not looking too good.
No, they're looking a bit scattered, actually, because Flash seems to have a lot of good angles to work with them. Ryan gets a good knockdown onto Too Fast. Now he's trying to find Flyboy just around the outside. Oh, sorry, X-Roy right around the outside. He tried to put in an ice wall. Didn't work out for him at all. He's down for the count. Now just the Axel left on the second floor, but Flash, they have him completely surrounded and probably dead to rights.
Oh, this is a terrible place to be if you're Expand. It's either going to have, I think if you're Axel, you have to land those shots, which he's going to try and go for it. He gets the knock. It's 1v1. Oh god, I'm so tense now.
Oh man, this is definitely not the start that Expand nor Flash was looking for, but someone's gonna have to bring this home here, ladies and gentlemen. The Axel trying to go up against Shin. Shin trying to hide around. He's gonna come down. Oh, and he gets taken down by the Axel. Unfortunately, Axel a little bit too slow to get the revive on his teammates, but he could definitely try to bring them back at the revive point later on.
On the other side of the field as well, we did see Sem9 got eliminated by Team E Arena, who also dropped in on Lumber Mill. So we've got two teams right off the bat out of the picture, but Expand barely surviving. The Axel, and luckily for Axel as well, right? They're right on top of a revive point. So he's going to be able to bring the entire team back. And yeah, they're going to be naked for now, but luckily they've got an entire team that they can lose and they can sort of get back into the game. And they also have 4 kills under their belt, which is a great way to start the game. But let's take a look at the situation here for the other teams, right? So at the moment, we've got 2 teams currently occupying the center of the map on Brasilia. So we've got Attack All Around and MDH. Although I think these teams, I don't know if they're aware of anyone here yet.
There is a UAV being brought up, though, so I think that might scout out a couple of people. I mean, certainly Kokoro is keeping an eye out on that cabin down by the hill there because he probably suspects a member of MDH or someone is down there. He hears some footsteps. He's going out to explore. Might he come into some collision here? He's already sending out the grenades, actually, so yeah, he definitely knew someone was there. He's now flushed him out completely. Can't quite get a good shot on him, though, because the ice wall came out just in time to keep that member MDH alive. Now Kokoro is going to be forced to bring his ice wall out now that he's exposed out on the main road.
I was a little tense, but luckily the team was able to regroup, so it is going to be a full-on 4v4 situation. It's not going to be a knock on the side of MDH. And I think both of these teams are now sort of going to have to stop and maybe stall it out a little bit to see what else they want to do. I do like this play. I was a little bit worried. It's like, are they really going to rush in there? Because that's pretty ballsy, especially this early on. But yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a truce.
Yeah.
Although, go ahead.
I think Axis just lost a member there. Looks like they weren't having the best of time. It's actually because I think it was only Exact and 666 Raph left there. And I think Exact got a little bit too close to E Arena there. So that was a good shot across the river there to take him out, leaving Axis down to only 1 person left here. In the meantime, everyone else just going to be staying in their place, especially those in Brasilia right now, because the circle pretty much keeps them in play here. Don't really need to move around too much, I feel.
Yeah, so I think everyone's sort of wanting to try and go into a safe position now, right? We're not really seeing too much action. Teams are trying to find compounds or at least go into that inner circle. Although looking at the map here, we could maybe see an engagement here by First Raiders as they want to come in and engage into Anxiety. And I think they did spot them out as well, but they're turning around. Okay, no, they're going to disengage. I think they're a little bit too worried. This was a team that was sitting in the high tier loot zone as well, so you're going to be at an equipment disadvantage, so safe play. Totally understandable. They're like, yeah, nah, we'll dodge.
I think they're just making a beeline straight for that golf course, though, because that's where the revive point is. So perhaps want to try to catch some stragglers. Maybe 666 Raph, since he's already crossed the river now.
I mean, I think if you're Raph, like you're kind of hoping, like, hey, is this empty? Can I bring my team back? It could be a trap. I'm a little bit worried for this man.
Yeah, nevertheless, though, first response has already picked up some vehicles. It's already made their way into the circle now. Jungler is going to be taking the longer scenic route here on both feet, but nevertheless, he's already within the safety of this current zone.
Yeah, so Raph's not going to be able to get into that revive point. I think as soon as he sees somebody, he's like, oh god, mistakes have been made, and he has been spotted as well.
Oh man, I don't know what kind of cover he can do now because he's completely stuck out in the open. He could see shots coming from that side there, so he's definitely keeping an eye out. That's right where the revive point is, but
he so desperately needs it though. Like it's just he's so alone, and I don't think there are any revival points outside of that one. So he's either praying that maybe Anxiety tries to go and engage into First Raiders to give him an opportunity, but I just don't think that's happening because above we have EVOS Phoenix going into Anxiety. So this western side of the map is going to be very cluttered very soon.
Yeah, and it's going to be even more chaotic later on because the circle just kind of like sits more to the eastern side, so whoever wins on the western side here is going to have a long trek to get to the safe zone for the next circle now, so they're going to have to finish this up quickly.
So Raph's going to go for the buy point, so at least he will be able to get a revive off, but I'm very sure he was hoping that he was going to get the revive pad. But, you know, sometimes you're just not lucky. But yeah, so Axis, they will come back into this game, hopefully. And I do want to see what's happening with some of the other teams, right? So we currently have EVOS Phoenix engaging into Anxiety on the western side. On the eastern side, we have Dewa going up against Nigma Galaxy. And then you have Attack All Round still sort of stuck in a stalemate here with MDH. So Nigma, they have a vehicle. If it does get popped, they can use it as a wall. That's really, I mean, that's a bike. Can you hide behind a bike? Not really.
Not really.
I mean, cosplay is the bike, I suppose. I'm just a bike, don't shoot. But yeah, so surprised at how quiet this game is. I'm so used to it.
It's like I expect like yesterday it was
Hang
definitely
on,
a lot
people
more.
are dropping like flies, man. We've got Anxiety going down to EVOS Phoenix. Now Attack All Rounds engaged into MDH. Where's all this action suddenly come from? I think we may have just potentially jinxed this game.
Yeah, Cass's commentator's curse right there, ladies and gentlemen. So AAA already getting to some engages here, and MDH already losing Nuke. Oh, they're losing Nero as well. Don't cry. This is looking terrible right now for MDH. As AAA now attack all around, attacking them all over here right now. And MDH down to the last member. Are they going to be able to disengage out of this, though? Doesn't look like so. MDH has been eliminated.
Unfortunate for this team. We will be switching back to Attack All Around's point of view. And I think that is First Raiders that are on the map there. So we could be seeing a potential engagement here. I do believe it's a 4v4 as well. But First Raiders, they do have the compound advantage, I believe. Like all their players are in compounds. I don't know if Attack All Around know that they're there as well. So they could be caught with their pants down.
But then look at who else is coming here, third party now. Axis, I think. That is
back
just
from the dead.
Back from the dead, indeed. And now going to be looking like a third party in this matchup now. That the circle is already closing in around them. Now, they are close to this safe zone, though, so they can still definitely try to play around this blue zone a little bit before retreating to safety. But now this is going to be the time to get striking here as AAA loses Kokoro on the ground right now as they try to scramble to reposition themselves. First response is going to try their very best now to keep them contained here, but then they also have to watch out from down south because Axis Esports certainly is watching this battle very closely and probably will be in the best position to catch any stragglers out of this fight.
Man, this western side of the map is absolutely cluttered. There are so many teams here. If anyone decides to gatekeep, this is going to be the perfect opportunity to do so. Anxiety, though, they did lost one of their players to the Axel. And looks like Expander also growing some really big kills on the other side of the map. We're busy with this engagement, but I mean, they're more than happy to gatekeep because the circle is actually moving towards the eastern side of the map. So these teams here, First Raiders and Attack All Round, it's either you gotta sign a peace treaty and go into that circle together, or it's gonna be, you know, You just got to kill him. And so far, it looks like you got to kill him now.
Peace was never an option, I think, here for attack all around, as they've already gotten a couple of knockdowns so far, but Kikoro completely locked down inside his ice wall formation right now.
The circle's coming in, and look at how quickly everyone's health is going down.
Expanding, getting himself completely taken out, actually, in that fight. So we'll see what happens, though, for first response here as Souza continues to try to fight on, trying to find another member of AAA, but gets himself knocked down instead. Dark Law has actually kept himself out of trouble, just walking his way to the safe zone here as a bit of insurance while he lets his teammates continue to fight on inside the blue zone. But right now, AAA seems to have the upper hand, though, as Kokoro and Jump God still remain standing, though, in this fight, and it looks like first response doesn't have any more people left to fight in this one.
Yeah, attack all around, able to put the attack in their name and at least preserve themselves, but they got to start moving into that circle soon, because this is going to be some critical damage. And remember, right, there's going to be teams that are already in that circle ready to gatekeep. So the fact that you're being pushed in by that circle damage and also being gatekept, it's going to be a really tough spot to be in just to make it inside the circle. They're not running any vehicles. They're going to have to walk their way through. Anxiety, unfortunately, going to be losing their last player to Nigma Galaxy. That's going to be our 7th place team. But so far, we've got Nigma in a pretty good position so far. 5 kills to their team name. They have a bike to scout around with as well, actually a couple vehicles. So these guys, they have a lot on their arsenal so far, looking to gatekeep some of these teams coming in. They're going to go into EVOS Phoenix. Now, this is one of the big teams that you have to watch out for. They are the heavy guns. They are very scary in these engagements. Can Nigma take them down?
Well, we'll have to see, though, because Nigma Galaxy does have the high ground compared to Axis, who, by the way, you know, in that fight early on, they kind of stuck around a little bit too long there. So they had to kind of come to the safe zone here from the blue zone. I think that's put them in a bit of a disadvantage, and even more now that they're being gatekept by both Nigma as well as AAA. But Jump God is alone, though. He's trying to see if he can get a good shot.
He can't get them.
Can't get it. He can't get it. The spread was a little bit too wide there, and he might have just left himself a little bit too exposed because Nigma now is putting fire under him. Now he's going to commit to the fight, though, but loses his life as a result.
He wanted to take out Flame, but Flame was just too good. He got the shot in. Delaware United, the next team to be eliminated. That was so painful, right? Like, they had so many openings. It's just none of the shots landed. So Flame, last player for Axis to go down. I mean, he's happy. He got that kill.
Yeah.
Totally okay. Now, going into this final round here, Victor, we've got 3 teams remaining, 9 players to go. E-Arena, as well as Nigma Galaxy, looking to fill at least most of their shoes. They've got their entire rosters alive, whereas we've got one more team. Who is that last person? It's it's EVOS Phoenix. Is it Moshi?
I don't see Yoshi. No, yeah, it's Moshi. Sorry,
It's
it is
Moshi.
So
Okay.
he's the only member left of Evo still alive. But NGX and E Arena both still have full stacks here. So I think likely the fight in this final circle is going to be between these 2 squads.
Yeah, and the circle's not going to go in favor of EVOS either. So there's a good chance that unfortunately they won't be able to maybe snap up that 2nd place. They've got to. It's a long run. E-Arena do have a pretty big advantage, I feel, right? Almost their entire team is right next to where that next circle is going to be. There's one Nigma Galaxy person there, but as you can see, the rest of Nigma, they're circling the perimeter, trying to see, okay, is there anyone that we could potentially gatekeep? They're going to scout around. They don't quite see what the opening's going to be, but they're going to rush E-Arena? Okay.
Just going to rush it with the ice walls, with whatever vehicles they had, just trying to force an issue here because they do know that this warehouse is a little bit outside of the next circle, so they can just beat them right here and now. Why not, right? So that forces E-Arena basically to come outside, and Moshi gets caught out as a result now, but is he still going to be able to stick around for a little bit too long? Doesn't look like so. He's going to be taken down by Prote.
Unfortunately, there's not enough greenery for him to hide around. I mean, he tried his best, you know. 3rd place is not too shabby for this team at all, but now it's going to come down to E-Arena, and there we go.
Yeah.
Wow, Nigma Galaxy. Unfortunately, their rush wasn't quite enough to break that defensive position from E-Arena. It just,